it's really difficult to even, I'm extremely nervous to share my case study. Yeah, so I will do my best. I will do my best, and I will share some of the findings of the courses that I've been teaching since 2019. So I will be sharing the data of 2019 and 2020. Before I begin with my case study, as Simon Sinek says, choose your journey, start with why. As Hana, I'm here today to share my story with you so that you can decide whether to try Agile yourself. This case study, what is Agile in education, and can it help improve student engagement? While various tools and services can help student success, ATLM, EduScrum, an innovative teaching and learning method has been proven to be exceptionally effective way to increase student retention. This case study is a proven method for teaching and learning and is known to effectively boost student motivation in higher education. Before I share the findings of my case study, I would like to share with you a story. One of my earliest childhood memories with my father. I was about 8 or 9 years old. I remember I wanted this toy, and I went to my dad and asked him, Dad, I want this toy. And so he asked me why. And I said, well, because my friend has it. And he looked at me, smiled, and said, try it again. I was a bit puzzled. I wasn't sure what he wanted me to say because it never asked me that before. I thought about it for a moment, and I said, oh, Dad, I know. And I started listing the feature of this toy. And I told him, Dad, this toy has this cool feature, that cool feature, and I really like this toy and I want it. He looked at me, smiled, and said, that's better. This story resonated with me till today. I started teaching about 10 years ago. I started teaching at business schools, and the traditional way of teaching and learning never made sense to me. I was exploring non-traditional teaching methods like query-based learning, project-based learning, very early on in my teaching career. My case study, I will be sharing with you the findings of from 3 courses that I teach at Monroe College. And these courses are this MBA concentration courses in business analytics. And the challenges when I started teaching these courses was there were very low student engagement rates, concerning low student engagement rates. There were absentees, latenesses, lack of motivation, and my students were unable to complete work in time. This was a new program, has just been offered. I had never taught this course before. These were new topics. The students, their MBA majors, they did not have the technical background and the math proficiencies yet. And the projects, the problems, scenario-based problems in the projects are based off of real-world problems. It's complex projects. In winter 19, I taught the first course in this concentration, business data mining. And I used the traditional method. I had the opportunity to teach the same group of students for 3 consecutive semesters. So as you can see in winter 19, the student engagement rates from weeks 1 through 7, the average is only 61%. My students are extremely enthusiastic. They want to learn. I'm here feeling helpless. I knew I needed to find a better way. I knew I needed to find a better way to help my students. These are complex projects. My students are struggling. I knew about Agile. I knew about Scrum. And so all of a sudden, I thought of Agile, that what better way to take on complex projects than Agile? I thought about it, came to class the next day, and I wrote Scrum on the board, big letters. And I told my students, guys, let's do Scrum. Without explaining much what Scrum was, I called on my students. We gathered around the middle of the classroom and we did a daily Scrum, a stand-up meeting. And you should have seen the boost in the energy level after the stand-up meeting when my students were walking back to their workstations. And the wisdom behind the daily Scrum and the stand-up meeting. One of my mentors, one of my teachers, he used to say that standing up doing an activity, you will have access to creativity. Normally, you wouldn't have sitting down. The very first session I implemented Scrum, all of my students completed their work on time.